Well, the world has sure gone nutty, muddy, buddy, even downright cruddy, buddy, buddy. Wish I missed the past, buddy, buddy, but there's still Buddycast. No, don't be nutty, go meet everybody here on Buddycast.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founder and host of Buddycast, Nick Sorensen.
Man, I love that intro. It's time for another episode of everybody's favorite show, Buddycast. I'm your host, Nick Sorensen. Thank you all for joining us once again. We've got a really good buddy on this show. I'm excited for this one. Today, we're talking with my buddy, Ceasar Westbrook, local artist. How you doing today, Ceasar?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for stopping and being a buddy on Buddycast.
Yes, sir.
So, Ceasar, I got to start by asking, what inspired you to become an artist? What inspired you to go into art?
I was always into art, even when I was young. I was kind of always that kid in the back of the class drawing and doodling and things like that. So I knew I was always into art. And when I went to school, I decided to major in art education, and then I switched to studio art. So that's pretty much what got me into it. I've always been into art, so I figured why not make it a profession.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man who works for passion is probably richer than man who works for money.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So what inspired you? I know you said you had a degree and everything, but what inspired you to really take this off as a career, to really put your heart and soul into everything that you do?
Well, honestly, I didn't even take it into consideration until after I graduated. I was just doing a few pieces for friends and just a couple close family members and stuff. And, people said, I should try to take it further and see how far it goes. And the more stuff I did, I started to get a more, positive response from it. And, I was like, this could really be something. So I said, what the heck? And just decided to put all my focus and effort into it. And it's pretty much how I got to where I'm at now. And so I'm able to do a lot of different things, have a bunch of cool experiences, and work with a bunch of cool people and artists.
That's awesome. Who are some of those cool people that you work with?
Here, local artists, I've worked with a bunch: Antonio Howard, Tom Ferraro, just to name a few. But and then I just have gotten to see just the growth of a lot of other artists too. Just being in certain positions, I've been able to paint live at a lot of like prestigious events and things like that. And just be a part of some unique events throughout the city as well throughout the years. So it's been really, really fun.
Mm-hmm. Another follow-up question: what are some of your favorite events to do work at?
This past year I live painted at the Erie Zoo. They had a gala, so I did something there. For the last 3 years, I've done the 40 under 40 experience. I've painted live at those events as well.
I missed you there.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
Oh, yep, I was there. So
I was in last year's class.
You were. So yeah, I was tucked away in the corner, but I was there. I've been there the past 3 years. I've just those are just a few events that I've been able to do, and I do a couple other ones, off to the side, but those are the main ones that I like to do.
Nice. So then I gotta ask, when you wake up in the morning and you look at the blank canvas, what's your motivation? Like, what's your driving force that makes you look at that blank canvas and go, okay, I'm gonna turn this into something?
It really depends on what the theme is or what the reason is. If it's someone who's contacting me for maybe a commission piece, I have to kind of stay within those guidelines of what they want and what they commission me to do. But if it's something that I want to do and something that I personally like to put together, a lot of the things that inspire me are like, day-to-day things that happen, or just like world issues, things like that, or just like things that everybody can relate to. That's pretty much a lot of the times my inspiration behind a lot of pieces is just things that, your everyday people can go through or relate to. I like to create conversation pieces and things that when you see them, they provoke or spark a question in your mind and start a conversation. And so that's kind of what I tend to lean towards. And so, yeah, that's pretty much how my thought process goes when I'm in front of a canvas, and then it kind of takes its own form from there.
Nice. What piece would you say you're most proud of?
Mm.
I know that's like asking who's your favorite child or so,
Yeah,
but
right. No, that's. I did a piece called "Pain" a couple years ago. It's a painting of a girl with a wrap over her face, but her eyes are the main focal point of the painting, and she's crying, and every time I get a big response out of that one, mostly all of the time. So if someone who hasn't seen my work, if they go through my work, that's usually a piece that they are really moved by, or they have something to say about most of the time, and so. Yeah, that one's probably my favorite, just because I get a wide range of responses from that one, and so I'd have to say that's probably my favorite. But I have a bunch. I have a
Mhm,
everyone serves a purpose and has a special place with me.
mhm. Do you recall like your first professional painting and the satisfactory level you had when it was complete?
Yeah, it was a show, or it was a painting I did for a show back home in Lancaster, where I'm from, and I it was around the time I was kind of finding my groove and my niche as an
Mhm.
artist, and realizing that this is really what I want to do. And so it was just really good to, like I said, be able to put it in a show at an event. It was for someone who's running for district judge, and so she had a show, and she invited me to come and put my work in there. And so I felt honored, and it was just the whole night, the whole event just really solidified a lot for me. And so I do remember that pretty vividly.
Nice. You said
Yeah.
you're from Lancaster. What brought you here to Erie?
My son is actually what brought me here. And so he's about to be 9 in August.
Hmm.
And so I've been here for about 9 years. But that's what pretty much brought me here is him. And I started my art journey, kind of started a little bit there, but it really is, you know,
It's
predominantly here. Yeah.
it's blossomed here in Erie.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. So a lot of my opportunities and things like that have definitely been from my time here.
Awesome. Now we talked a little bit off air. Are there any new projects you're currently working on that you can let us in on?
Yeah, I have a few murals coming up. I am currently in the sketching process for a mural at St. Vincent Hospital. So I should be doing something for them in the next couple of months. I also am a part of the mural initiative in Erie this year. So there will be about 38 murals being put up in the city of Erie from June 1st to June 13th. So if you're driving around and you see a bunch of, muralists painting, that's what's going on. I'm a part of that. And so I'll be doing one for them. And then a couple just side murals as well, just independent ones. So I have a nice little hefty plate coming up this summer, but I'm excited about all the opportunities and just everything that's going to transpire. I'm really excited for it. So those are pretty much my main ones right now. I'm also in the middle of a really big painting right now too that I need to kind of get moving on, that I hope to have in next year's spring show at the Erie Art Museum.
Nice, nice. So, who are some of your favorite people to paint, or like some of your favorite ideas to express in paintings?
I don't want to say I have favorite people to paint, but I definitely love figurism, or like figurative painting.
Mhm.
People I like to paint and draw people. Like the realism of it is just it really intrigues me. It's a challenge. It's a different challenge every time I do it. And so I think that's what I like about it so much is like every time is different. You have a different set of challenges for every single one. But that's what I like doing most. But I've definitely leaned in more into abstract as well, abstract art, and a lot of my work I kind of blend the two, or try to have a little bit of both kind of mixed in there. And so and I'm really comfortable in that area. I think that's what I'm kind of leaning towards as being my signature style. And so I feel like over the next couple of months, I'll solidify that a little bit more.
Wonderful. Now, I gotta ask, on average, how much time do you think you put into a piece?
Uh, That's a great question because it definitely varies depending on size. But if I had to average it out, I'd say, a good piece can take me about a month to do. But depending if the time that I have available, I can still get a really good piece done, decent size in about 2 weeks. It all just depends on the amount of detail that's involved and things like that. So, but yeah, I don't. There's some pieces I don't mind spending more time on than others, and then there's some that I wish I could finish in a day or two.
Mhm.
But it doesn't always work out like that. So, but I say on average, I say about 2 to 3 weeks.
Awesome. How much supplies do you think go into each piece of work?
Um, Well, that's the other thing too is I like to do different mediums. So I do oil painting, acrylic painting. I do pencil drawings and things like that. Some of them are mixed medium, meaning they have a lot of different types of mediums in there. But a lot of I have a whole bunch of materials, and there's a lot of little tools and things that I use to complete the processes of those paintings and those works. And so I think that's the other interesting thing is I get to kind of makeshift and put together all these different concoctions to make things work for me the way that they work. Every artist works different and their processes are different. So the way I might do something might be completely different than the way the next artist might do it, even though we're doing the exact same picture or this
Mm,
exact same project. So, and I think that's the fun in it.
Awesome. Now, could you walk us through that process? Like, could you walk us through your process? Let's say for just a regular canvas piece, like a regular painting. Let's go with that.
Yeah, so first I would probably I prime the painting first. Even though some canvases do come primed already, I still like to prime it and maybe put a background color on it. Then my next step would be to get everything sketched out proportionately on the canvas before I really get into it. And then you put your base layers down. Painting is a medium of layers, so you want to layer it up, is what they say. So I'll get my base layers down, just like my foundational colors and things like that. And then you kind of just slowly kind of add and build on top of that in different areas, depending on what you're doing. But in a grand scheme of things, that's pretty much how I approach it. And then I'll go back in. The very end is my favorite, not because it's the end, but it's where I get to really like just be me, be super creative, and just like put all those nice little touches on it that really bring it out and bring it to life. That's my favorite part of every single painting. And so yeah, that's about the process of all my stuff.
Nice. So, what about murals? Is it the same for murals, or is it there any
Murals are
differences?
definitely different. They but in the aspect they're kind of the same. It's just working with paint like that. It's you don't it's not sometimes it's not as forgiving, and so your approach is different just because you're working on a larger scale. And so and then like spray paint and things like that, you're mixing in mediums and stuff. So but generally it's about the same. I approach it the same for the most part.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So that kind of brings a question in my mind. What's the largest mural you've worked on?
Largest one that I've worked on is probably the one at Dobbins Landing, when you're looking down from the tower.
Mm,
It's a colorful one right there by the water. That's
mm.
probably the biggest one that I've done. The second biggest one is the one at the Manis Sunoco gas station on 12th Street. So I did that one as well with Antonio Howard, and that one's really big as well. And so yeah, between those two, um, those are probably my two biggest works. I
Nice.
have one coming up. Hopefully, it's coming up this year that I'm doing. It's about it. It's really big too. It's about as big as the one I did at the Sunoco gas station. And so I hope to do. I like working big. I like doing the really big ones. They're really time consuming and labor intensive, but they're really worth it. And they really are a challenge. I like that.
Hmm. Do you ever like have to use equipment to get like to reach certain areas or anything like that? Or
Yeah. So lifts and things like that are required. I just used the lift this past summer for the first time. It wasn't for an actual mural. I was just doing a painting job for a commercial building, but I got to learn how to use the lift, and which was very beneficial because now I get to take that with me into my own work. And if I ever need a lift, I know how to operate it. And so yeah, it's really good to know those little tricks and trades and things like that. But yeah, when you need to reach certain heights, lifts, really tall ladders, things like that, it all can be brought in to be used in some way, shape, or form.
Wow. Brave man, I will say.
Yeah.
So where can we find your works? Like, where can we find more information about you?
Well, I have pretty much every social media site except I have Instagram, and then my name on there is C_West100. So CWest100. I have a Facebook, just under my name, Ceasar Westbrook. And I have a website. If you're on my Instagram, my website is in my bio, but it's cwestcollections.storeenvy.com. And that's where a lot of my stuff is there. So if you want to purchase a print of anything like that, my store is on there. You can go and check out some of my stuff. I do need to update it, which I am going to be doing soon. So just all of my stuff is there. But I post pretty often, as much as I can, especially when I complete new works and things like that. I post it up everywhere, so you can catch my stuff there. And yeah, I'm always just trying to, be reachable and things like that if anybody has any questions.
Mm-hmm. And that's cwestcollectionstore.envy.com?
cwestcollections.storeenvy, so STORENVY. So it's only in there. So STORENVY.com.
Solid. That is now in the comments if anyone wants to view his stuff.
Yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Of course. Buddy, I've got 2 more questions for you to make this an official Buddycast.
Absolutely.
The first one is brought to us by my buddy Jonas Kane at #Positivity. He wants to know, in your own words, what does it mean to be someone's buddy?
Oh man, it means to be dependable, be loyal, just be there in any way, shape, or form that they may need you, and be genuine. And be the way you would want someone to be to you at any time of need, or just in life in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes a solid buddy.
Treat others as you treat yourself.
For sure.
And the final question I have for you tonight is what we call the ultimate Buddycast buddy question. You ready for this one?
Sure thing.
For anyone out there who is watching who dreams of being an artist one day, what's your advice to them?
My main advice for them is to be you. Don't be afraid to try something different, do something different, do things different than what you've seen, and just be your own person, and just fully immerse yourself in your craft, because that's what genuinely is going to separate you from everybody else, and that's how you're going to get the most satisfaction out of what you do, is doing it for you and doing it the way that you want to do it.
Awesome. Well, buddy, thank you so much for being a buddy here on Buddycast. It was a true pleasure. It was a great episode.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me, man. It was a pleasure. I appreciated all the questions. They were awesome questions, and I hope there's somebody out there who can benefit and hopefully pick up from what I was able to share today.
Mm-hmm. That's the point of Buddycast.
Absolutely.
So, but stick around. We'll chat for a minute afterwards.
Sounds good.
For all my buddies out there, this is my buddy Ceasar Westbrook. Please look up his works. Contact him if you have anything. If you want a mural done, anything, give him a contact. Give him a shout out. I'm your host, Nick Sorensen. Thank you for joining us on another episode of everybody's favorite show, Buddycast. We'll catch you all next time here on everybody's favorite show.
Well, the days are going fast, buddy, we've got to make them last, buddy, before they've all gone past, buddy, tune in to Buddycast. But don't feel like go make it, buddy, here on Buddycast.